Hello, beautiful souls. I'm going to stay in the topic of creation. When you are creating something in your life, whatever that is, whether you are working on yourself to create more confidence, to create better relationships. When I say better, I'm always a bit, I use better with caution, because I speak about that. It's not really better, but it is, we transform our relationships. Whether you are creating a different job, you are creating more financial freedom, you are creating different lifestyle, better health, also fitness, etc. Whatever area you want to focus on, there are a few things really to understand, basic things, and today I'm going to give you two of them. Now, if you know you are quite knowledgeable, or you have followed all this law of attraction, law of vibration, etc., you will already know quite a bit about how to manifest what you attract, how to create, etc. And it's all very good. It's, of course, we've got the laws because they are universal laws. But what a lot of people forget are these two things that I would like to introduce to you today. The one thing, so number one, is that no matter what you are creating or what you want for yourself, for your life, etc., no matter how much you wish, no matter how many vision boards you create, no matter how many courses you follow on this law of attraction and manifesting, etc., you have to remember that you have lessons to learn. If things don't happen the way you expect them to happen, it's because you've got work to do on yourself. And that work is not going to go away. I know it is true that there are many, I wouldn't say so many, but there are people out there who tell you that that's a load of rubbish, you don't have to work on yourself. Well, you do, because I have spoken to so many people, and I know from my own experience that we have obviously a programming, but we have this tendency to stop ourselves. There is something that is blocking. It is blocking that manifestation. It is blocking what we want. And it's not because we're not doing it properly, because we don't know as much as others. It's because when you came here, you gave yourself lessons to learn, and you have to learn those lessons. So yes, you can create, absolutely, you could create new friends, but guess what? These new friends are going to still be a reflection of what is going on within yourself. So you might say, oh my gosh, I'm creating new friends, but I'm still having problems that I had before. And that is because they only reflect what is within you. So you have to work on yourself. You have the lessons to learn, because as I explain in all the work that I do, we all have a programming. So from the minute you were born, you were programmed with different beliefs, different habits, different values, different stories that you created yourself according to how other people treated you, what they said to you, the situations you lived. Right, all that has got to be worked through, because you're only going to create something that is going to reflect what is happening within. You cannot skip that step. You cannot. So yes, you will be manifesting, but guess what? I know people who have manifested cars, money, and within themselves there is still something that's not right, and they say, I don't know, I still feel low, there is something, no matter how much I'm manifesting like money and all this, there is something not working. Yes, because they haven't worked on themselves. This is so important for you to understand, that you cannot skip that step. And so you can't escape your lessons, because otherwise what you're manifesting is taking you back to where you need to be, what you need to learn. Become aware of that. Become aware that it's not because you're not doing it right. It's not because you're missing a piece of the puzzle that somebody else has. How come that they're manifesting something and you are not, or not exactly what you want? You are manifesting all the time. We all manifesting all the time. We're attracting whatever is vibrating in the same frequency as us. That's what is coming to us. And I have different videos and podcasts and everything about one thing, for instance, is that it's not the place you are at today in geographically. It's not because you are in this town, in this city, in this country, wherever specific to you. And therefore, if you go somewhere, you'll definitely get what you want, because I did that. And I brought with me everything that was within me. Of course I did. It was within me. Didn't leave it somewhere. So I still had to work through everything. So remember that. You're not failing. You're just getting feedback. You're getting the feedback as, where are your lessons here to learn? What do you believe about yourself? What are your thoughts around all that? So, you need to work on that first. The second fact that I want to give you here is that the other reason why, so let's just say you think, well, I'm working on myself, and you're not creating or manifesting exactly what you want. It's because you are creating on survival mode, stress mode. This again is so important for you to understand this. When you are in that survival mode, you cannot be really creative. Now, our brain, of course, was created, at a certain time to become aware of the danger around us. So, of course, we have that instinct, that survival instinct that we talk about. When we are in that survival instinct, we become very aware of danger around us. So we can hear things, we can see things, we are more attuned with any danger. Now, that obviously served us when we were in that environment. We were in nature and we had to learn how to survive in that place. But where we are today, it's not the same. So when we are in that stress mode, what we are doing is that we are just focused on the immediate problem, that immediate danger. And that problem or that danger, it's not the danger that we had before. That was real. It was for our survival, so that we wouldn't get killed by animals or by the enemy or something. But nowadays it's not like that. But what happens is that there are manipulators in this world. Big manipulators. They manipulate, they brainwash, they condition our minds. They put us on that stress mode. That stress mode is fear. You start fearing so many things. And it also comes from your programming, of course. You fear You fear shame, you fear criticism, you have that fear of being judged, of not belonging somewhere, of being rejected. Right? So that fear comes from the programming as well. So when you create and you are in that stress, in that survival mode, that is what's going on. So if you think about it, you are trying to create, let's just say, a new job, new career, new friends, but you are focused on that fear. You are not going to see the infinite possibilities that exist because you are just focused on that stress, that survival mode that you are in. And what happens then is that you don't have like a bird's view of the infinite possibilities that can have. So when you make a choice, you're going to make a choice because you are more thinking about safety, you are thinking about that survival. So yes, you might get a new job, but as soon as you start, you're going to still feel that, well, this is not right for me, because you are not creating, manifesting what you could manifest if you had worked on yourself and you were not on survival or stress mode. When you are in that mode, it's a bit like having blinkers. You can just see the essential right in front of you. That's it. That's all you can see. You cannot see the wider picture. It doesn't allow you to see the wider picture because you can only see that wider picture when you're at peace. When you feel really good, when you feel that it's okay to be where you are, you've worked on yourself, you are patient, right? You don't think, oh my gosh, if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to happen. You are then in that stress mode. So when you are in that peace mode, you give yourself that time. You give yourself time for opportunities to happen. You're not just going to jump on that first thing that arrives just in case nothing else happens after that, right? That again, it's survival, it's stress mode. So you are not going to create what you could be creating. You are just keeping that vicious circle going. So you get to another job, those same things happen, you're not quite happy, you don't understand why it's happening like that, because you were quite happy to leave the other job and now you're in this one. What's going on? Yes, because you brought with you the same perspective, the same fear. So you are still in that survival mode. It will happen. It will happen, whatever the time frame is, but it will happen. And what you need to understand is that you need then to go back to the basics of, well, who are you? But you are not meant to be in that stress all the time. That's not what you are meant to do. But when you are in that place, that's all you can see is that immediate problem, that immediate issue that has to be dealt with. I have to have a new job right now because I can't be with these colleagues, or I have to have more money, or I have to do that. You see, you are making the decisions and the choices from that place of survival, and all you're doing is putting yourself in another place of survival. So you need to come into that peace. You need to trust. You really need to align with divine truth, that you are a magnificent being and you are the extension of God, of Source, the expression, and the power is within you to create whatever you want to create. So once you start working on yourself, that will be something that you start knowing more. You have to align with that more and more. And then you start coming out of that stress mode, that survival mode, that, you know, I've got to have more money. I have to do that. And you don't even then see the infinite possibilities out there. So maybe instead of doing these things that seem like the right thing to do, you are then rejecting somebody's proposal, an opportunity, because you think, well, that's definitely not going to make me enough money. But hey, you don't know. That maybe was one step towards that absolutely wonderful place that you could really be more creative, where your calling is. This was really for you. And this is why it's so important to understand this. So just two things that we need to remember. When you are creating, if you are not at that place where you want to be, if you are not feeling good about yourself, so you want to create now a like new you. So I always say like new, because of course it's still you. What happens is that the you that is within has got to then come out and express itself in an authentic way, and not through the programming that we've got, those limiting thoughts that we have about ourselves, about our relationship with others, about life, what we deserve, what we don't deserve, what we could have, you know, all this is, if you think about, you are there somewhere, so your soul is there, or you are the authentic you there, and then throughout the years so many things have been put upon you. You have to start releasing all that. So, you know, you need to be at a place where it's more about knowingness, a place of love. You have to start creating from a place of love, which is a higher place, a place where you don't panic about it, you're not anxious about everything, a place where there is no about this jealousy, like you've worked through that. So it's not about, oh my gosh, if I don't do it now, you know, I'm not going to have that opportunity, or this one is doing it and I have to do that, and why couldn't I have that when they have this, you know, from that place. But also a place of lack. Oh my gosh, there isn't enough for everyone, so if I don't claim my place, that's it, I'm going to lose out. If I don't if I'm not the one, you know, the best one at this, somebody else is going to come and take my place, or that is coming from a place of lack. I'm going to do a lot more on that mindset, that perspective, because everybody experiences that, and you really need to know how to work through that perspective of lack. So this is why you might be at that place of frustration, or, you know, a place where you think you're not doing it properly. So always remember, think about, where are you now? Where are you now that is creating the present situation for yourself? So the first thing, just to recap, you have got lessons to learn. That step you cannot skip. That's it. So the first thing to do is really start working on yourself. It's no good thinking that the external is causing you not to have what you want. It's because of this person or that person or my situation, my circumstances. It's everything on the external, but it's not me. If you stay in that place, it's going to go on and on and on. So all I'm saying is that start working on yourself. That is the one thing to do. And then also, of course, they are linked, they are so connected. That's why I'm putting both of them here together. Is, am I creating from this place of survival, of stress, that this urgency that, oh my gosh, if I don't do this now, what is going to happen? From that place, am I creating from that place? If I really know, I feel that I am, then I need to start working through that as well. So I hope that this is actually really helping you start becoming more and more aware of how it works, the laws of the universe, how really it works. You are a spiritual being in a physical body. You are spirit in a physical body. You are the essence of love in a physical body, coming here to have a physical experience. And when you understand all this, and you are in a place of feeling really low, feeling really in depression and feeling really low, and I know that because I'm talking from experience here. When you are there and you just are in that vicious circle all the time and you don't know how to get out of that, so you think that manifesting on the external is the answer, you need to remember that the first place to start is within you. I have helped so many people doing that, getting out of that place of, when I say depression, it's almost that despair, from that place into, then into a place of hope, and then a place of knowingness, a place of freedom. That is where you want to be, because money, a new car, a new house, yes, that is going to give you some, it's going to uplift you, but what is it going to do long term? Short term it's fine, but long term, that's where you need to focus on. Working on yourself, it's how it's going to help you, and coming out of that stress mode. Now, before I go, I just want to explain something, is that if you are thinking right now, well, I'm not too sure where this really applies, with life in general. Well, guess what? How do groups of people, wherever you are, how do groups of people who actually know how we work here, know how to keep you in that, or how to control you? By keeping you in a place of fear, by telling you all lies about yourself, right? That you're not good enough, that you can't do things without them, that you are in danger of this, that, this is what happens when groups of people, they think that they can rule a society. This is what they do. They keep people in fear. They keep people in that low vibration. So when you know yourself and you know the laws of the universe and you know how to get yourself out of that fear, out of that stress that they put you, out of that survival mode, believe me, you will then be connecting a lot more with your freedom. And that is your real freedom, not the freedom you think that you have in this society that they're even trying to start now, controlling more and more the things that we're allowed to do. Every time there is a new rule, what you're allowed to do. And this not only applies immediately to you, it applies because it applies to each one of us. It applies then to the community, to the society, to the country. It does apply to everyone. So if you think that this is just isolated, it is not. It really is not. So I hope that this is really helping you becoming more aware. But listen, you are not alone. You are not the only one. you know, when you think about how many in this world are feeling the same and looking for the same, you realize you're not on your own. But also, I'm here to help. You know, I'm here to guide you, to help you. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, don't keep everything to yourself there, thinking, oh, well, it's going to be a bit ridiculous asking this question or reaching out. Do so, reach out, leave a comment, if not today, tomorrow, whenever, even if it takes you a month, 6 months, but do come back with whatever is on your mind if you need any help. So below here, you can leave a comment, you can put a like. It would obviously help me then spread the messages a bit more and more. And also share this video, because somebody else might actually be waiting to hear this message. And I will leave an email address and a link where you can actually reach out. You are not on your own. Don't make it be that, you know, it is just your problem. It is, we are all together, we are all connected. Even here, if on this dimension here, we are individuals, but we are still here on the higher, on a higher frequency. We are all connected. So I hope this has helped you, and I hope I will hear from you, or, you know, just leave some comments. And until next video, wherever you are, I am sending you lots of love.